What's up? What's up?
So why is it the guys at AOL.com?
Because the guys at Yahoo, Gmail, Hotmail, AIM, everything was gone. AOL's only one.
Everyone that said that, or everyone that heard that, I was just like, AOL.
Every time. It was the only one available, y'all. Welcome to the Guys Podcast. This is your host, Chris Poole. Just want to give you a quick thank you for checking us out. We'll be releasing content weekly, so check us out on all streaming platforms. And if you have any questions, remember to email us at theguyspodcast@aol.com. Enjoy the show. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 2 of the Guys Podcast. Keep it brief for the intros. But just if y'all didn't know, we got Kavan, Cam, Tank, Caleb, myself, talking about sports, gaming, pop culture, and relationships this week. We're just going to get right into it. If you have any questions, obviously you can hit us up on the email, theguyspodcast@aol.com. This episode, we're just going to talk. It's going to be individualized. It's not an overall theme. But of course, we're going to get right into it, talking about Kobe Bryant. Really hard-hitting news on Sunday, the passing of him and 8 others in that helicopter. So we're just going to talk about what makes him so iconic to us, and maybe a favorite memory that we have of Kobe. I'll start it off. For me, I mean, obviously I'm a LeBron guy through and through. So when I first started watching basketball, the first time I actually remember watching, like, following basketball, and watching every single game of like a playoffs or finals was in, I believe it's 2010, Dallas Mavericks, Miami Heat. Before then I watched basketball, but not like in a super serious way. So that was kind of past Kobe's main prime area, because that was when they fell to three-peat. But just watching him compete, it's insane. Just watching back and looking how he was able to achieve greatness. And my favorite memory was definitely that last game when he scored 60. Like, he could have kept playing. Like, I think that was evident that he just kind of like bowed out because he felt it was time for the organization to transition, rather than him just continue to own that spotlight. So if one of y'all want to go ahead and piggyback.
Go ahead, Caleb.
I think probably my favorite Kobe memory was when when they were in the Olympics, Team USA. They were playing against Spain, I believe. It might have been the semifinals or championship game. And it was actually a close game, and Kobe, like, even though there were so many like all-stars on the team, like I think LeBron and Melo were on the team as well, Kobe just took the game over, and just basically solidified that he was that guy. Because I mean, they did have so many greats on that team, but it was just kind of apparent that he just wanted it more than anybody else. And it showed, like, again, like I'm a LeBron guy as well, but like it just showed that Kobe was that guy, and that he did really have that mentality, that Mamba mentality that people were talking about. Like, he's not gonna lose if he has anything to say about it. And I think that's kind of the biggest impact that it had on me. Like, with him passing, I'm not gonna say that like I was the biggest Kobe fan. I was like a diehard Kobe fan, but just from a personal perspective, just it's always kind of hard watching someone who has worked so hard at something and who has achieved the highest heights like die young. It's kind of the same thing with Tupac and people like that. Like, when you're a phenom, when you're so great at something, and when you have so much untapped potential left in your life, to see somebody pass away so tragically, it's pretty rough, especially seeing his daughter. I think that was probably the hardest part for me. Like, I mean, when I heard the news about Kobe, I was shocked, and like I didn't really think it was real at first. But then once I kind of came to grip with that, it just felt like the news just kept getting worse and worse. Like, first it came out that his daughter was in the plane, and then other, like, 2 other people were in the plane, and then they're like, oh no, 3 other girls were on the plane, or 2 other girls were on the plane, and it just kind of kept snowballing from there. But to see like these young lives, like, who had so much potential, like, get cut off, that was probably the hardest part, the biggest impact for me.
Yeah, agree. Definitely
I feel
agree with
like
that,
it's
bro.
just it doesn't even feel real at this point.
Mm.
Still doesn't. Still hasn't really like fully sunk in that it's like, you know, and like for me, I'm not even like a huge sports guy, but I mean everybody knows the impact that Kobe had on the game and the league. You know, I think just seeing him, probably one of the more fonder moments that I've witnessed was his retirement in his last game when he retired. For me, just for him to be able to say that I've done everything that I've wanted to accomplish, and you know I have nothing more to prove, and you know that was it. That's beautiful for him to be able to just say, all right, it's time to take a step back and let other guys, you know, have their shine and stuff like Chris was saying.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, what basically like what makes Kobe iconic to me is just basically the fact that it's like when we were growing up and we really weren't as into it. Like we were into sports, but we really weren't like we didn't know much about sports to the
Right,
point how we do now. You know what I mean? But it's like I don't know, man. Everyone knows Jordan. Everyone knew he was the man, but that was before our time. But Kobe was that guy. Even though we didn't know all the technicalities about the sport and all that, the stats and everything, we knew Kobe was Kobe was Kobe. Just like all those little memes of people saying, we ball up pieces of paper and shoot him and say Kobe. Like, yes, like we grew up doing that. And it was because of who Kobe is, like what he was doing. And then we got older, we started understanding the game better and realized like, wow, he is the man. But just like Chris and Caleb said, I'm a LeBron fan first, but um I mean that's just preference. It's still I love Kobe. I love Jordan. Just associate better with LeBron, but no, like you guys said, it just doesn't feel real. It still doesn't feel real to me. I'll get like just random feelings like, dang, bro, he's gone. Like he
right.
passed away, and I feel like what's gonna make him like what's gonna show his how iconic he is his after his death. Like what's gonna happen after his death? His death is never gonna die. It's gonna be around for a very long time. It's always gonna get brought up. He's still gonna leave a huge impact on the world, even being gone. And yeah, man, it was crazy just to even hear that whole story,
I think,
especially like you said with his daughter.
and it's like unfortunate, but I feel like in his untimely death, I feel like his legacy will just span to greater lengths just because of the fact that it was so impactful that it just happened out of the blue and everyone's just forced to reminisce and think about how impactful Kobe actually is to the culture in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but
crazy.
that's like anybody when they die though. Like their legacy becomes greater because they were a martyr or because they died.
But I feel like some people get sad in the moment, and then it's like it's easy to just let people kind of just fall in the background. Like with Nipsey Hussle, you seen how many people were on Nipsey? They were blasting Nipsey music and all this other type of stuff. But only true fans are gonna be the ones that are really gonna still keep remembering his legacy. But you got Kobe. Kobe is Kobe, bro. He's never gonna die, bro. He's almost immortal in the sense in the fact that he will never die because people will continue. You know what I'm saying?
Worldwide
Hold him
figure,
to
man.
this.
In my opinion, his death was actually bigger than Michael Jackson's because like
That's the only thing I can compare it to, and
because
honestly,
because Michael his death was kind of self-destructive. You good at?
yeah, boy had an earthquake.
His death was kind of self-destructive in the fact that like everybody knew he had a drug problem. Like with Kobe, it was like he was in perfect health. He was he was just starting to like reach his second win with his second career. You saw him like on Instagram with his daughters doing a great job. The Mamba Academy he had doing movies and all these different stuff, and then he's gone. And this is a worldwide figure. He's not as popular as Michael Jackson, but he's as worldwide as Michael. But with Michael, it's like he died and like, oh, propofol, a drug, he overdosed. We kind of got that, but this is hard to come to grips with because Kobe fell out the sky
Yeah, man.
and it's gone.
Yeah, like you said though, like he's a big Michael Jackson, but I feel like he's just as impactful to basketball as Michael Jackson was to music. But at the same time, they were at the same like tier of person.
Yeah.
They were that top tier person, and it's just crazy to think like, you just look at people like Kobe and you just feel like, man, those guys are indestructible, man. They're invincible. Like nothing can happen to them, and then something happens to them. It's like wow, like bro, like life is really crazy. Anything can happen in life.
Right.
Like it literally felt like it was kind of like the same feeling how you have it when someone dies personal to you. You know what I mean? Even though we didn't know him personally, he still was in our life. Like he was still personal to us. So I don't know, man. Like that was
It's
crazy. And
it's this sounds I'm sorry, go on to cut you off.
no,
It
no,
sounds
you're
kind
good,
of
bro.
crazy. It sounds kind of crazy, but I feel like in all the deaths, like in a closer proximity to me lately, and then seeing Kobe, it just feels like death is becoming more personal to all of us as we get older. Like I feel like before, when you're a kid, you don't really conceptualize like the idea of death, like in the seriousness or like the deepness of it. You know what I mean? The depth of like the fact that I don't know. I just feel like it's becoming more personal. Like it's getting closer and it's becoming more recognizable that it's like, wow, this is really what death is. Like this is like something that everyone has to come to terms with at some point. And it doesn't matter who you are. We all have our, we have our start and our end and our beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give you a chance if you have anything to add on.
Yeah, man, y'all said everything I said. But my favorite moment, Kobe, is when he dunked on Steve Nash, man. Just, man, that I was like, all right, But yeah, man, y'all said anything else? Sad does not feel real at all.
Yeah, man.
To this day, when I shoot a paper ball at the basket or anything, a garbage can, I'm still gonna say Kobe.
Kobe.
Forever.
Hey, quick thing, Chris. Before you move on, I don't know if you guys remember that Dave Chappelle skit when it was like a beginning of one of the episodes and he was with some girl and he made her sign a contract before they did the business, so that they didn't leak any, or she didn't leak anything about him. Never mind, man. I don't think this story is very appropriate.
So what do y'all think about the petition to make Kobe the new NBA logo?
Oh, I like that, bro. I think that'd be cool. Like that.
I didn't even know that, bro.
Yeah, that's something like I could see happening though. Like that's how big he was. That's how important he was to the NBA. I can honestly see that happening to the point where I think it's a no-brainer. It should happen because even Jerry West said himself that it should be LeBron. They should switch it to LeBron, or he said it to somebody. I'm pretty sure he said it should be switched to LeBron. He already said he wanted it, or it should be switched, but it doesn't matter, bro. I feel like that needs to be done. It definitely needs to be done.
I want to say one more thing. Go ahead, Cam.
Oh, my fault. Okay, this is completely irrelevant and it has nothing to do with his legacy. But does Kobe Bryant have scandal? Like, does he have scandal in his life that?
There was.
He does, but there's
This is not the time to talk about that when we're talking.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I just feel like that's what I'm saying. It's poor timing. But I feel the reason why I think that Kobe would be a better fit than Jordan is because I feel like Jordan was looked at more so as this guy who kind of had certain things that he may have needed to work on, or certain attitude about himself.
It's not for this episode. But what I do want to point out before we move on is just the impact on women's sports, because Kobe's daughter was the truth at basketball. Like she was the next. Like she was the Kobe of women's basketball coming up, and her teammates were also the ones that passed in the accident. They were amazing. It's crazy
super
that
talented.
in the blink of an eye, like the future of women's basketball, some of the top prospects coming up are now gone. So I think Kobe was a huge advocate for women's sports, and I think that it's a huge blow for sure, because he had plans. Obviously, 4 daughters. He was really passionate about that, so I just want to point that out. Move on to gaming. It's kind of a light in my opinion, but I did want to discuss it. about anything that you guys are anticipating coming up in the spring, or any like DLC, anything that's we're looking forward to, maybe February, March, April time. I'll start it off. For me, they have a new Minecraft update coming out. I don't know
Right. I
how
just seen
I'll
that.
feel about it. It's the Nether and some other stuff that they're adding to make the Nether more livable. So actual be food and plants and stuff like that. Need for Speed supposed to have an update to add more cars and things like that. And then I didn't play Last of Us 1, but I heard it was amazing. Last of Us 2 is coming out. But
Last of Us 1 was very fun.
other than that, I mean, everyone knows that we're just waiting for the drop of the new system. So
Yeah, and I for that Need for Speed update, I hope they put the Tesla in, bro. I want to see the Tesla Roadster in there.
that would be amazing. But how would you
That
mod
would
it?
be fire.
How would you mod it?
It's the same
I
as
mean-
like the Regera though. You can't mod the Regera.
Fair.
I mean, but you could just say like the baseline. You could get like the regular, and then you could get it to the P100D. Like so, you could upgrade it just like a regular
Just the way
Tesla.
that game works, you would. I mean, I guess you could change suspension still.
You could change suspension. You could hollow it out and make it lighter. There's
Don't
stuff
they
you can
have
do.
another Need for Speed game coming out?
I'm not sure if they have one coming.
Because when I was looking up a lot of just to get like game releases and stuff, and there's a lot of games releasing, bro. There's
Right.
there's a
There-
lot of games releasing
there's
in the
a-
spring.
There's a game called Tim Tam that's coming out.
That's one of your
yeah,
little
probably-
indie games.
I seen that, bro.
Yeah, it's like Pokemon, but it's multiplayer online, so you could play through the story with co-op. It looks pretty decent, honestly. It's something different. Like it's probably not something that most people would play, but it's something to keep an eye on because I think it'll probably be pretty popular when it comes out, at least for streaming and stuff.
Yeah, and it's not
Well,
Need for Speed. It's a Fast and Furious. I'm sorry.
Okay, got you.
Mm.
Yeah, Need for
Fast and
Speeds are
Furious.
usually like UFC every other year, I think.
What were you saying, Caleb?
Oh no, I was just saying it's a Pokemon like game, and I think depending on the success of it, because it's going to be PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and it's multiplayer. I think depending on how successful it is, it's probably going to make Nintendo have to act and do some bigger updates next time they release a Pokemon game, which is probably going to be.
They
I
do
mean,
have a
it's
Pokemon game coming out, I believe, in April on Switch. I can't.
They just came out with one.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact name of it. I have it right here, actually. If you guys give me a second. Let's see. Pokemon
Is that
Mystery
update you're talking
Dungeon
about?
Rescue Team DX is what it's called. March 6th is the release date for that one.
sounds weak.
Yeah, it does. I just-
I don't know. I like Pokemon. I just really haven't gotten into the games ever since like when they were on handheld,
Mhm.
Game Boy Advance and all that. But I haven't really got into any of them on the Switch. I got a buddy at work. Shout out Mark, Marky. I know you were listening last week, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, he's a big Pokemon fan and he plays the Switch a lot, and he was very excited for that new Pokemon to come out.
Mhm.
I mean, I would get it. I would play it, see if I can get into it.
But I'm just saying, if they added co-op to it, and you could run through the whole story with like a group
Yeah.
of people, that would go crazy.
I'm not
right-
sure if it is a co-op or
Yeah.
not.
No,
though.
it's not. It's not. But like, what this game is basically saying is they're gonna do Pokemon better than Pokemon is, and they're adding it so you could go through the whole campaign co-op. And depending on how successful this game is, they're probably gonna be forcing Nintendo to do something like that in the future. So depending on how successful this is, like if there's a future Pokemon game that has like a co-op story mode that you can play online, that would go crazy in my opinion.
So it is it's actual Pokemon.
Nah, it's called Tim Tam, so it's Pokemon without like the names basically.
Oh, okay. And you said it's PC, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and another thing, Chris, to add to the game releases. I just seen like there's a lot of Switch titles coming out, like a lot of games coming to the Switch, which I think is really cool because, yeah, I like playing PlayStation, and I like playing PlayStation just because I can play with you guys, and that's just what we play, and it's like our main source of
Right.
communication. But like, I feel like the Switch just adds that when you just want something different. and then you can hop on that and play. And when they're bringing all these new games onto it, it just makes that system a little bit more standoutish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
think you can attribute that, like I said, to the fact that Xbox and PlayStation or Microsoft and Sony are gearing up. So that a lot of the titles that might have been like on the edge when do we release them, they might have just pushed them ahead because Microsoft has made it clear that they are coming with it with their launch titles. They want to have so many options at
Well,
launch.
actually,
they're pushing on that.
Microsoft released. They announced that like their exclusive titles are going to be on Xbox One and on the
Yeah.
new
They
Xbox.
definitely will. They want to make it so that it's more of an ecosystem of up and down, kind of like mobile games,
But
where you can upgrade phones, still play it, and it'd be better, but it wouldn't be obsolete.
it's a topic for another episode. But I don't think that's a good move by them.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't give as much incentive to upgrade, but I mean, like you said, that's a subject for a different day. Anybody else got anything on the upcoming releases?
no,
Nah,
Fortnite.
you know, I play the same games, so
I was looking online. I seen Cyberpunk actually comes out on my birthday, and that's what stood out to me. But I never heard you guys really talk about it. So, what do you
2077.
have any thoughts on it?
Cyberpunk.
Happy birthday, first off.
Yeah.
Second off, yeah, I don't know
It's
nothing about that,
September?
bro.
Yeah, Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk 20.
September.
Well, it was originally slated for spring 2020, but they keep pushing it back.
Is that the one with
Mhm.
Keanu Reeves?
Great.
Like,
it won't be coming out on your birthday, bro. If they keep pushing it back.
Yeah, they keep pushing it back.
But we should be getting a live then, right?
Yeah, if we talking down to the fall, we should be expecting a next gen NBA live.
I mean, I'll play, but Chris gonna have to work for me to play.
I think I don't think that they're gonna go with the name Live 21. I think they're gonna go with just NBA Live. If I had to guess, 2K. I really hope they don't do this, but I feel like they're gonna go with the Kobe themed thing.
They will.
I don't think it's in good taste because it's
Although-
clearly. I don't think it would be as much
Like profitable.
Yeah, it would be clearly like, oh, I gotta get it's Kobe, versus like letting it die down a little bit, and then because he is like one of their 10. He was the 10-year guy, and so like they have their staples. Allen Iverson, obviously, so it would make sense that they honor him in some way, but I don't think that like they're gonna do a Legend Edition with specials. Like I think that might be a little bit untimely and a little bit unnecessary.
But they probably will.
Yeah, it's
2K,
2K.
2K likes money.
It's 2K. So.
Hey,
Hey,
I mean, I do think that there are difference in rights when it comes to something that's alive. Yeah. So I don't know if that's necessarily possible for them. I know that they can put him in the game because he was a player, but I don't know. Kobe isn't alive to sign his likeness onto that game. So I don't know if would even be possible unless his family was like giving the go ahead with that. But that might be like a will and testament type thing. I don't know what he would decide to do.
Only time will tell.
Yeah, only time.
yes, sir.
Hey, real quick before we move on, I'm seeing here that they are coming out with a Neo, whatever game you be playing with them swords, bro. Coming March 13th, you will have a number 2. So
Yeah, I see that.
something for you to be looking forward to, I guess, buddy. Because I don't think we're gonna try that game, so we'll take your word for it and how good it is.
There's a couple Dooms coming out. A Resident Evil 3, that must be a remake.
Yep, I'm pretty.
by the
pissed.
way, a game I was really looking forward to coming out, that new Dragon Ball. I played like the first part of it. Man, it's kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, see, I watched a couple of streamers and
It's kind of like, I'm not gonna lie. Like I got it the day it came out, and I played about.
I would expect. My fault, Caleb. I would expect a game like that to be more so about like the storyline and just follow the animations and like the, you know what I'm saying, the art that goes behind making something like that.
It looks great, but like it's kind of boring.
You weren't ready for that, Caleb. That wasn't for you. That wasn't for you, bro.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to pop culture. Instead of doing music, we originally were slated to talk about the Grammys, but it kind of was overshadowed with Kobe, so I personally didn't watch it.
Nah.
And I think that it would be
I don't ever watch the Grammy.
it would be a clear one-sided podcast if we talked about what we thought about it. I would assume, and people getting snubbed and all that. We're not going to get into that today. So we're just going to talk about who we think is the most famous person on in the history of the planet. And I'll let Caleb start. I think I know what Caleb's going to say.
Okay, so the most famous person in the history of the planet, and there was a caveat that we couldn't talk about religious figures. So I think it's Napoleon.
Okay.
Dynamite.
Bonaparte, whatever his last name is, because the French had so much influence in taking over so many territories. So they really literally had an influence in like every aspect of the world, especially at that time. So I would have to say the most famous person of all time is probably Napoleon.
Keep it a one. Keep it a one.
Well, I was gonna say most infamous, but
Just go ahead. Cam, you got someone?
I feel like that's kind of a hard question because I feel like there's different people that you can name in different, contexts.
And that's what
like
makes this
I would have
question
never
so
thought
interesting.
about Napoleon. I would have never. But I feel like I don't know, man. That's hard to say. That's a hard
You got
question.
Anybody?
You know who? Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. That's a
Michael
really good
Jackson.
one.
Yes, sir. That's
Argument could be made.
first thing that popped in my head. It's Michael. It's Mike. It's Michael. It's little Mike. Whoever you want it to be.
Combine.
Man, most famous person in the world. Like, if I had to think of somebody that anyone would know, I would have to say Hitler, bro.
I was gonna say
That's mine. That was mine.
Because just for the simple fact, like, I mean, he's famous for all the wrong reasons, but it's just the fact that if I had to say a person that I think that anybody in the world would know, it would probably be some type of world leader, and I feel like Adolf Hitler was probably one of the most famous world leaders, just because of what the destruction he caused in, World War II.
World War II. Yep.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know. I would say Adolf Hitler, all for the wrong reasons, but definitely very, very, very popular.
I'm actually going to change mine since you took mine, but I will piggyback off of Adolf. If you just look back in the archives of like how dedicated the people of Germany were to Hitler,
yes, man, definitely one of the most influential. Yeah, he's the most influential person, probably, maybe all time. Yes, all time. You influenced a whole country to want to kill another, just a whole race of people. Like, I don't. It's so crazy. It's so crazy, and like I feel like that's how powerful hate is.
Yeah,
hate is so blinding to the point where one man can manipulate millions of people to hate another group of millions of people and try to eliminate them.
It's insane. I mean, I think that people underestimate he might be the greatest speaker in the history of the world because he was that powerful in the way he delivered hate, like you said, and it was just mesmerizing, especially at that time. There's no social media, there's none of that. So when people go out to a speech and they're like, man, this guy like knows like what he's talking about, he's convicted, he's confident in his conviction. So I'd say that, but mine would be, and bear with me now, Barack Obama. Now that's obviously more recent, and if you ask someone 50 years ago, but that's not the argument. The argument is if you ask anyone today, do they know a person? I would be hard pressed to find someone that doesn't know who Barack Obama is. Obviously, he was on the world stage, but when the most powerful nation, I mean, that's our opinion. Please don't get mad if you're watching this from Russia or something. But like,
don't start no wars now, bro.
Top five most influential country in the world has a first black president. I don't know if there's been a black leader at that level in like one of the big elite countries, and so Barack was the first person to really step outside the bounds of that and to be able to speak the way he did powerfully. I actually just went back and watched his "Yes We Can" speech, and when he starts it off, it was a creed written into the founding documents.
That's
The destiny of
historic,
a
man.
nation. Yes, we can.
Yeah.
That speech is amazing. Like the words and the way he's able to deliver it, it's just like whether or not you agree with politics, the amount of buzz he was able to generate, being a black man in America, is something that like we might not ever see again. Like we legitimately might not ever see someone be able to gain the trust of a nation that's a minority as Barack Obama. I think nation or worldwide, he definitely is recognizable.
We got a soundbite on that speech.
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to pull it up,
Please.
Just give us a little taste. While you're looking it
You're
up,
pulling
Cam,
that up. Yeah, I'm gonna say, now that you guys start talking about on that, on influence, I think of MLK, Martin Luther King Jr.
Yep. Yeah, that's where Chris was going.
But it's like it's easy to not think about it, but it's like it's almost like you're a bad person if you don't know who MLK is. You know what I'm saying? In our culture.
But I think where that argument falls off is that although MLK was influential in the American context, when you think about globally, like although he is known, he's not as much of a known figure. Like if you go somewhere like China and you ask them who Martin Luther King is, like they might know, but they're not gonna really.
I feel that
it's not gonna have the same gravity.
yeah,
I feel that. Okay, so
world famous, bro.
let's just turn the corner. What about Elvis, guys? Who doesn't know Elvis?
He's famous,
not a worldwide.
He wasn't worldwide. He was a worldwide star. He was a worldwide star. The thing about Elvis was he never toured outside the country, which like what Chris was saying, back in those days, the 60s, 70s, there was no social media. There was nothing even remotely like that.
Right.
There was news.
True.
So the only thing like about that is it wasn't a big push for him. Like you kind of had to reach out and travel to gain those huge fan bases like Michael Jackson did. But no, I agree with you though. I'm not going to sit here and act like Elvis was Elvis was the truth. And this is a topic for another episode, but artist, he's a top 5 for me. But no, I agree with you, bro.
So
I struck a nerve, Caleb.
Yeah, you did. So what do you think about someone like Kylie Jenner, who's like internet famous, like who is social media famous? She arguably has, I mean, at the press of a button, she can talk to more people instantly than a lot of these people who we talked about previously could. So she is a new kind of famous. Like she is definitely world famous. And I think that you got to consider that because she has like what, a couple million Instagram followers.
Think she has the most? Maybe not. I don't know. I'm speaking.
Like
I just feel like they are the epitome of like white privilege, and then it's just like, but it's undeniable that they do have that reach and that influence, bro. It's undeniable.
They're very famous. Like they're upper echelon type.
She's
famous.
A billionaire, bro. What is she? 22, 23?
Crazy.
Yeah,
It all started with her sister. We ain't gonna talk about what she did, but it all started with her sister.
Right.
We all seen what she did,
right.
bro.
Because I think the internet has a lot to do with what we think of as famous now. Like although people in the past were very famous, like the reach that people on the internet have and how fast they can gain followers and how fast they can talk to people, like that is, I mean, that's a new definition of fame. And like you could argue that being famous today is more like has more of influence than being famous just 50 years ago because of the voice that you have. Like LeBron James could say something on Instagram and it could go viral and basically everybody knows about it in the entire
be in China.
world.
Yeah, it can be in China.
20 minutes.
In 20 minutes, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, that's a new type of fame.
No, I feel like it's not fame. It's just the evolution of humans. Like that kind of even gives people back then that we know about even more clout, because it's like, man, like they did it without this stuff. Because I always think about that.
Right, bro.
I always think about how they got to their status with literally nothing. People
Just
didn't
word
even
of
have
mouth.
TVs, bro. Exactly.
Newspapers.
Like they were newspapers. That's how they got their clout. But yeah, I agree with that too, Caleb. And it is a new type of famous because, like you said, someone can say something over here, and it can be in China in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It doesn't take anything. But that was a good
I have that
topic. You
snippet
got that
ready,
soundbite?
boys. Yep.
Black History Month.
Yes,
It was
sir.
a creed written into the founding documents that declared the destiny of a nation. Yes, we can. It was whispered by slaves and abolitionists as they blazed a trail towards freedom through the darkest of nights. Yes, we can. It was sung by immigrants as they struck out from distant shores and pioneers who pushed westward against an unforgiving wilderness. Yes, we can. It was the call of workers who organized, women who reached for the ballot, a president who chose the moon as our new frontier, and a king who took us to the mountaintop and pointed the way to the promised land. Yes, we can to justice and equality.
I got another speech for y'all boys. Y'all want to hear it?
Go ahead, man.
Let's see if it'll play.
Those hands, are they small hands? And he referred to my hands. Well, something else must be small. I guarantee you.
Look at my. Hey, bro.
I had to do it.
Chris, that man is so well spoken, man. He is the most. He's so well spoken. That literally is.
I got you on this.
That's a definition, bro, of how communication rules the world.
When we have a protester inside, which isn't even very often, I say be very gentle. Please don't hurt him. We had a case where we had an African-American guy who was a fan of mine. Great fan, great guy. In fact, I want to find out what's going on with him. You know what I'm... Oh, look at my African-American over here. Look at him.
You my guys.
I know Sam was sitting there like this.
Man.
That's your president.
Man. But you got to think, he's one of the most famous people in the world right now. Like,
in the history of the world.
In the history of the world. Like,
he will
this
go
man
down.
is...
I was gonna say that, bro.
Man.
I'm not
gonna
trying
say that.
I'm not trying to start anything, bro. But like I said before, man, hate is.
It's powerful.
Hate is powerful, man. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Anyways.
You know what? And I'm gonna say this, and this might be kind of weird to say also, but I would rather a public figure be committed in what they believe and say what that is than to have this more sneaky, divisive way of trying to divide in a way where you act like you're not trying to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
you.
I know exactly what you're saying, Cam, and I agree with that a lot. If you don't like me, show it to my face. Don't sit here and talk about me
straight
behind
up.
my back. I agree with that.
I mean, because at least we know what we up against, rather than
Yes, sir.
there's somebody being sneak racism. Like,
Man,
And that's what I was trying to get to. Like, fam, you
that's
gonna
what's
racist, be
scary.
racist, man.
Yeah, like when they're like, they'll sit in your face and just talk to you and whole
That's a
time.
different episode, Chris. That's a different episode.
Yeah, we can't. I'm actually gonna switch this server real quick because Kavan has been lagging on my screen. Not voice, but
Cam gone now.
not in voice, but in video. So I'm just
That's right.
That's what you do to my man.
What'd you do to Cam?
You said it again.
You done kicked him.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
There we go.
Who had the most Instagram
back.
followers?
Can I take a wine break so I can refill?
Go ahead. I'm already cutting.
All right, man.
I looked up who had the most Instagram followers, Kevon.
Oh, hold on. I already know who it is, bro.
Who?
Drake?
Nope.
Kim Kardashian?
Nope. Drake's not even top 20, bro.
Oh, don't do me like that. LeBron? Messi?
I know who it is.
No.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
But man,
No.
y'all know
Hey, Dwayne,
all day about.
it's Ronaldo.
It's
I
Ronaldo.
know the soccer player.
I
I
thought
know
it
the
was
soccer
Kylie.
player.
200 million. Then it's Ariana Grande. with
Ariana.
$73 million, and then it's The Rock with $170.
Ariana came up. She came up from Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Cam is cutting out for me. Hold on.
And then it's Kylie, Kim, Messi, however you say it, man. Then Beyonce.
Should be good, Cam.
Drake is top 30. Drake is 30.
Yeah, we don't really worry about that, man. We don't worry about social media. You know what I'm saying? We get our numbers in box there. You feel me?
Y'all ready?
Who has the top Twitter?
That doesn't matter.
Bro, let us have fun. We don't care if you got something to do.
No. We're talking about Twitter. Doesn't matter.
Oh,
Instagram.
Barack Obama, Katy Perry, Justin Bieber, Rihanna.
Ellen, bro. Where's Ellen at on there, bro?
She's number 8.
I knew she had to be on there, bro.
I thought Donald Trump was up there. Low key.
I forgot about Ellen, bro. Everybody love Ellen, bro.
Cam is still doing that. I'm gonna try to switch to a different server again.
All right, this is gonna mess me up.
I'll go west.
Bros.
We on my coast now. We on the west. Everybody good?
No, everyone's deleted.
Nah, everybody's good.
Hey, I'm hungry, so
all right, let's go.
I'm starving.
All right, we're gonna go into relationships. I'm gonna let one of you guys start this off, but we're gonna talk about the normalization of cheating and what we believe to be the causes and kind of what we think about that in general.
Okay. So I think it's so normalized because of social media. Mm-hmm. You know, everyone, they just like to joke around about it, and I think social media is the biggest one. And another reason is I think it's that people just don't believe in loyalty anymore.
That stems from insecurity.
Yeah, for sure.
My opinion on it is not. I think that people always have cheated. Like,
yeah, I
don't think it's anything new or normalized. I
didn't want to say it.
Yeah, bro,
I think that.
Yeah, but it's just like boom out there now because of social media.
I think the idea of open relationships and like just having an excuse, if that's what you want to call it, to be able to express yourself and do whatever you want is like an excuse for loyalty. And for me, like, I don't think it's normalized. I think that the society would deem it, and the old heads would say, "Oh, look at these young folks doing." No, it was easier to cheat back then. They didn't have Find My iPhone, Find My Friends, Snapchat, Maps, Instagram, none of that. They didn't even have a phone. You say you could. Unless somebody saw your car at somebody else's spot.
They was snitching.
I feel like, so this is what I was gonna say. I feel like I'm one of those people that are gonna be the ones getting argued with about it. But I don't feel like monogamy is a natural thing. Personally, that's how I feel. I feel like we create these possessive situations in order to, kind of pacify our insecurities that a person can't be connected to something else, like, and still be connected to me at the same time. I don't know. I feel like, of course, people are gonna argue with me, disagree with me.
It's gonna be the first one of the life of this podcast. You tweaking, bro. I mean, I get what you're saying, that sexually humans were not like necessarily designed that way, but the idea that like it doesn't exist or isn't the norm, like, I don't think that you could redo the society 100 times over. Like, you could keep replaying it and let people figure it out for themselves, and every single time I can almost guarantee you that would be the case, that they would continue.
I feel that, bro. I feel that.
Choose one.
But I feel like a lot of people are leaning towards the situations where there's the polyamorous lifestyles and stuff like that, where it is normal for people to say, instead of cheating and feeling like, well, I'm going to always have these urges, I might as well just be realistic with myself and say that I do have the urge to connect with other people. And it's like, why not just be open to the fact that We still love each other.
So why not be single and have multiple girls?
That's what I'm.
I feel like I hate the saying, like when people say, you want to have your cake and eat it too. Why do I want to have cake and not eat it?
Yeah, bro. So my question to you is, would you consider that if it was another dude in the relationship?
I feel like for me personally, I'm just saying, of course I'm in a monogamous relationship and that's what we subscribe to and that's what we have a understanding of. But I feel like personally, me and my personality and the energy that I put out, I would be open to sharing love with whomever, but in a way that's, I feel like it's complicated and something that not everyone could, you know what I'm saying, be on board with, and not everyone could be on that maturity level. And me personally, I have too many insecurities and I still have those possessive ways. So I believe in the fact that it is possible to be in a polygamous relationship, but I know for me, what's mine is mine personally, and that's how I feel. And I feel like that's selfish, but you know, it is what it is. I'm just saying, I feel like there's.
So I'm gonna steer the conversation a different way. The theory that I have about the normalization of relationships, normalization of cheating, although I don't necessarily think that normalizing cheating is a good thing. I think where it comes from might be because the way that we look at women and consider them like their status in society and their freedoms is a lot different now than it was 50 years ago, 20 to 50 years ago. Like now women are now considered to be like more autonomous in a way. So let me finish. So now, like, it's not just that men want sex. It's not that men have feelings. It's not that men have to pursue things. Women can pursue men. Women can have these feelings. Women can have these lusts. And now that we're understanding that both sides can want these things and both sides are equally entitled to these things, it's now coming out that women cheat too. And I think that, I think that we just gotta say it. Like in the past, it's been like my man's cheating, my man's doing this, but women they sneaky. And now that it's out in the open, it's becoming more normalized that, you know what, it's not just men, it's women too, and we got to talk about this. That's why it's becoming normalized, because, I mean, from the men's perspective, I don't really see many men on social media bragging about how they cheating. That's just
Wait,
let's just keep
so
it.
you telling me?
Let's just keep it 100.
You said women's cheating?
Yes, it's the women out here. It's the it's the women out here on social media. Like, oh, I don't need my man. I got another man. I got like. Let's just keep it a buck.
But this how I feel, bro. I feel like our granddaddies was been cheating on our grandmama, and they was like, they just want
just to be clear.
No,
hold on. Just to be clear. Not our grandfather. Not our grandfather.
Cam says different.
I wasn't even thinking about our personal, but I'm talking about in our culture.
Thank you.
I'm saying in our culture. You got a lot of granddaddies cheating on their grandmamas back in the day, and the grandmamas was putting up with it. So you was technically in some type of polygamous relationship, but it was still a respect where you had to be like, hey, she ain't gonna be around in the picture, and you ain't gonna be disrespecting me, making me look crazy. But then social media started to make it easy for dudes to get exposed to the point where now women have this thing where men ain't whatever. So now it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine type of stuff. Now females feel like it's okay for them to be the ones out here doing the doing.
Look, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I want to go back to a point that Caleb said about women being able to do these things. Yes, they are, and I'm glad that you feel that way. But let's be real, it's not equal. Women are still judged.
I
crucified at a much higher standard than men.
I wasn't trying to say that. I wasn't trying to say
debatable.
That, like,
Debatable. Thank you, Ab.
No,
that's not. I'm not talking about mainstream, but I'm talking about like in terms of a man and a woman. So
like, yeah, I mean, I understand, like, because even at college, like, if a male is sleeping with multiple people, he's a god. But if a female is sleeping with multiple people, she's fast.
Let me go ahead and say
we
this.
ain't talk about, bro. We're talking about cheating, bro.
But I'm saying,
I was talking off of Caleb's point.
That's
to clarify that.
We're rambling now, but at that, well, even though, man, I'm sorry, man. Like, man, I look at women as a delicacy, man. I'm sorry, bro. I feel like just women are women are untouchable, bro. I just don't feel like it's. What I'm going to say is very controversial, but I just feel like, man, it's just different. I mean, it just feels different. Does everyone agree that it feels different that when a male goes out and does something other than a female? I just don't. It's just different to me, man. I don't know how to explain it or put it into like a or in like a, not saying it in a disrespectful way. Yeah, non-sexist way. It's just the fact, like, man, it's. I don't know.
I do get what you're saying, but
it's just like women inviting some. It's just a weird situation, sticky situation. But I don't want to keep. We're off task though. But let me go back to the normalize of cheating. The normalize of cheating. I will never normalize it. I think that's just honestly the most disrespectful thing you can do, because anybody can give love in a relationship. But I feel like the most important thing in a relationship is loyalty, because even when you do love someone, you can still hurt them in many ways.
Okay.
And
let me ask you, come on, my fault. Let me ask you. This is the real question I'm trying to get down the answer to. And y'all might say I'm tweaking because I might have a different answer.
You're absolutely going to be tweaking.
Does loyalty coincide with having sex with other people? So if I'm in a relationship where I care for a person, I look out for a person, I love them, I respect them, and all this other type of stuff, but then I still have those sexual urges to be with other people, does that mean I'm a disloyal person, or does that mean?
But those terms that you just said to me is what loyalty is. It's all those summed up into one thing. Loyalty is respecting that person and respecting all their wishes, and to never make them feel anything than satisfaction, or anything but satisfied. It's if you have those urges and you have, because it's a natural feeling. That's what we're humans, bro. You're always going to be attracted to something else, even if it's a different type of attraction. It's called lust, and you should not have. You should be able to conquer those feelings, bro. You should not have. Yeah, bro. No, if you're loyal to somebody and you can have those thoughts. I mean, I can't say you can't, because I mean, we are human, but it's your actions. Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than thoughts.
Hold on, Cam. Hold on. Ant, you had something to say. I want Ant to interject. Ant hasn't had the opportunity to respond.
Oh no, I forgot what I was gonna say.
See, I tried to.
My fault, Ant. But that's what I would say off of Kavon real quick though. I feel like you say actions speak louder than words, but I feel like that's why those granddaddies and those grandmamas were still staying together, and you had marriages that lasted 40 years, because even though he was cheating, he was still making sure he was taking care of his kids, loving his kids, paying bills, putting food on the table.
Excuse.
And those are the type of things that still make a loyal man. Bro.
Okay,
So why not still take care of your kids, pay bills, and just not be with that person?
Bro,
you can take care of that.
That's true. That's true.
Bro,
that's true.
But not even that, bro.
Beautiful person. You can sleep with other people, don't be with her, but you can still take care of her kids, your kids.
Bro, because the way that I understand that loyalty doesn't necessarily mean like not having sex with other people. Like, you're my brother, you're loyal to me, but I don't expect that you're like. That's a weird example. Anyway,
right? Yeah. But I see where you're trying to go with it, bro.
Yeah,
we're trying to compartmentalize everything. Everything. I don't know, bro.
It just didn't work out.
We gotta go on. No, go ahead.
But like, the way that I'm thinking about what Cameron's saying is like with cheating, I guess in our context of the world, in our culture, like we have kind of boiled down relationships to be like romantic relationships are the most important type of relationships to us now. So it's like you can't have a relationship with someone now that's not romantic, and I think that's kind of where we're at fault. It's like
exactly, bro.
It's like you don't like if you want to have a relationship with somebody, if you want to be loyal to somebody, if you want to love somebody, like I can love Kavan, that's my brother, but I don't have to be romantically involved with him to show him that love and to be loyal to him.
Mm-hmm.
He just killed us. He just killed all our.
So what I'm saying is like, bro, but so like when you're talking about polygamy and talking about being loyal to someone and not cheating, like if you do find someone who you want to have a romantic relationship with and you're dedicated to having that relationship with them, it's your choice to do that. So once you've made that choice and once you understand that y'all have an agreement between both of y'all that this is what it is, then be loyal to that person. And if you're ever not down for that commitment, don't make the next step. Don't get married to them. Don't do all these things, because that's where we're seeing the divorce rate go way up, is because people jump into these commitments way too early. When it was supposed to be one thing, they made it a whole different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so with cheating, it's like we're jumping into romantic relationships way too fast, and we're turning things that were just supposed to be friendships, supposed to be totally different things, into romantic relationships, realizing that this is not the person we're supposed to be with, and moving on to the next thing. And it's just a continuous cycle. We don't know how to make relationships that are not romantic.
Disclaimer.
That's my 2 cents.
Disclaimer. Black men don't cheat.
They sure don't. They sure don't. We're gonna get on to our outro segment about One Gotta Go. We gotta get to One Gotta Go, y'all. What y'all got to say?
Let's go to the last topic, please. Let's move on. Let me say one more final thing.
It's all hypothetical. It's all conversation. You know
let me say one more final thing though about this cheating, bro. Like, to me, I will never do it to anybody. I don't. If it's ever done to me, I will. You as a person you're not going to be. I'm not going to view it the same way. You're going to be not even a thought in my mind anymore. But like that cheating, bro, I feel like that's the most devastating thing you can do to a person, bro. Like that will like tear some people up to the core. I don't care what anybody says. Like, Cam, you try to say like it's just sexual frustration. It's just you have these desires and stuff, bro. Anything sexual anything intimate that's too connecting to me. That's you're intertwining too much, and that's dead, bro. Like I can't. And I'm gonna say that, like, speaking for myself, I can't just smash someone. Like, it's gonna have to. There's some intimacy there. You're not just, and especially, I feel like it's different for women. I'm speaking from a woman perspective, which is.
But that's what I'm gonna say.
But I feel like it's different for them than us. It may not be. I don't know. I'm a man, but that's dead, bro. I'm sorry, and I'm 25.
It's not, bro. It's not. You know, they be cheating out of hate.
Yeah.
So it's I had it. Yeah, man.
They be cheating for clout.
They definitely cheat for clout.
It's easier for a girl though, bro. I'm sorry, man. Girls don't gotta try.
I'm okay with the women being mad at me for saying it, bro. But I feel like there's differences, bro, in that testosterone and that estrogen, bro. And when a man wants something, bro, he just wants that just to claim it as his, bro. Or just to claim it as something that he conquered, not necessarily something. I don't feel like what I'm saying is, I'm not trying to normalize cheating. I don't condone cheating, and I'm not saying I'm a cheater. I'm saying for the men that are good fathers, good providers. You know what I'm saying? He respects her. He don't beat her up. He don't call her out her name and all stuff. But then he go out and have this meaningless or this random sex with this random female. I don't feel like that's the worst thing that he could do. The worst thing he could do is beat her up, call her out her name. I feel like the worst thing he could do is you know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. That's just
I don't know what you're saying, bro.
I'm just saying, bro.
I think that man should be single, whoever he is.
No, it's not even the fact that he's single, bro. It's literally, it's like there's no sin worse than the other. You know what I'm saying? All sins are equal.
That's true.
And that's what it doesn't matter what you provide.
Exactly.
It's not about what you provide, and it gives you a pass. Like, oh, I do all this, I do all this, I do all this. Yeah, I get to go out and smash something, bro. No.
Yeah, I paid rent today. Let me go smash something.
No, bro. Like that doesn't make any sense, bro. Think of this. You stay at home with the kids all day. Your significant other is out working, busting her tail, coming home, doing everything she does for you, making sure that you're good and you're wrapped up, but she's smashing some dude from her job.
That hurt.
How are you going to feel?
That would hurt.
But I feel like, bro.
No. Like, how are you going to feel?
Answer the question.
How are you going to feel about that?
Yeah,
yes.
bro, don't duck it.
How are you
I'm
going
at
to feel
home with
about
the kids
that?
and all this.
And she just comes into you and says nonchalant, "Oh yeah, Mark from work and me have been getting busy."
Yeah, raw dog Randy.
How you gonna feel about that, bro?
I said so. Where you been at all night?
Nah, yeah.
Like, I was playing.
Honestly,
this is how I'm gonna feel though. I feel like, bro, it's just me. I could be considered sexist, and I'll take that, bro. But I feel like women are more emotionally connected to those situations. So I feel like they're gonna hold their bodies more sacred. So if they
I think that's what society
like that,
has done for the last.
But I understand
for society. I'm speaking for me.
I understand that, dude. I understand that, and I kind of agree to that to some point. But it doesn't matter. Your feelings are going to be the same as her feelings. It's not what she's feeling in that moment. It's how the partner is going to feel. You're going to feel broke up. And if she has her excuses to doing that is, well, I'm over here paying all the bills and I'm taking care of your kids and I don't make you feel, I'm not calling you out of your name and I'm making sure you're straight. I should be able to go out and smash something if I want.
Yeah, Cam, your argument's dead. We got to move on.
Hey,
yeah.
What I promise you guys,
I'm not saying it like that.
Look, if we want to do a bonus episode, if we want to do an extra episode about this topic, I'm more than open to it. But we got to wrap this up. Well, we're approaching the time, and we still have that last segment to do. So we're gonna talk about One Gotta Go.
Wait. Let me throw this in there real quick. Man.
All right, no one. Go ahead and get your last word in. No one respond.
Isha, I love you. You know
Absolutely.
What it is.
Kayla, I love you too, baby. You already know it. You already know, man. And we out here forever.
You already know what it is.
Anybody else got girlfriends they love?
Man.
Hey, y'all making us look bad.
Y'all making us look bad, man.
Hey, she in the bed right now, sleep. You know.
Hey, mine too.
I'm at the crib. I'm at home.
Hey, Kayla,
we don't live with our.
I'm put up.
Hey, we don't.
Hey, Kayla, you said that women cheat too, bro?
Yeah, they definitely.
They do. Yeah. All right,
don't say that. My girl in college right now.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know where our girls at. We don't live with them.
All right, go ahead and get this last segment.
We gotta go. One gotta go. Soul food. So we're talking about sides. And I was contemplating what to put on this list, but I think there's clear, because I didn't want to put mac and cheese on here because everybody's gonna choose mac and cheese. But we got mac and cheese, sweet potatoes, yams, whatever variation, greens, and cornbread. So I'm gonna go first. My first off the board, mac and cheese, baked mac and cheese. Gotta keep
you talking about to go or to stay?
You tripping? I just made some mac and cheese today. We keeping the mac and cheese.
You made some today?
Can I go, bro?
It's in the fridge right now.
Can we see it?
Nah, I can't do all that.
I wonder why he made that. Hey, can I go?
Shut up, man.
Go ahead.
Hey, so one gotta go. I'm gonna go ahead and just do this the easiest way, man. One gotta stay, because I ain't messing with nothing else on that list but greens. So y'all can have all the other stuff. What? I'm gonna just go ahead and say
Chris,
greens, bro.
I told you Kavan would say macaroni and cheese can go.
Yes, absolutely. And not only macaroni and cheese, sweet potatoes can go straight to the garbage. Cornbread, man. I'm straight on the cornbread, and the macaroni and cheese. You guys see me later on that. So I'll take the greens though. So for y'all can play one gotta go, but I'm gonna go ahead and play one gotta stay. That's gonna be greens. Definitely.
I think the cornbread can go. I'm sorry.
Oh, that cornbread can go and get up out of here, bro.
Okay, I used to think the same thing. Used to say
the
same thing, but I got sick one time, and I was at
That mean you can't have sweet potato pies, though?
I was at Mimo's house. And she made me some beans, some cornbread, and some cabbage. And I tell you now, when you mix that beans and cornbread.
Hey Chris,
that's a home remedy, huh?
Hey Chris, I don't mean to offend nobody, but boy, I know that tastes hard. You hear me? That thing with. I need some of that right now.
For me,
so
man,
we said so. Cornbread is the winner, or the cornbread is the loser.
Nah, he makes a good point. He makes a good point.
Yam's the loser.
You got to think of alternatives to.
My man called them yams.
To each situation.
He called them Bruce's yams.
My second to stay is cornbread. My second to stay would be cornbread. I don't know about y'all, so it's between sweet potatoes and greens.
Man, macaroni cheese thing.
That sweet
cornbread thing. Greens and yams gotta do.
Man, y'all sleeping on my greens.
Feel like for me personally, bro, I don't feel like you can have a Thanksgiving plate without no mac and cheese, bro. Can't have no plate without no greens, and you can't have no plate without no sweet potatoes and no yams, bro. Cornbread can get up out of here, bro.
That's it. You eat cornbread more often than you eat.
I don't eat cornbread.
Look, beans and cornbread is undefeated.
Mac and cheese is versatile, bro. I agree. Mac and cheese with the majority of my meals. Greens cooked the right way.
Mac and cheese is staying.
Hey, bro. I think you need to change your diet if you eat macaroni and cheese that much. He said he eat mac and cheese with majority of his meals.
Hold on, man.
It's versatile.
You know my Cavante voice.
You can eat that with your ribs. You can eat that with your pork steak.
Cornbread.
You know what I'm saying?
Cornbread.
My man said pork steak.
You can eat cornbread.
But I'm more of a Hawaiian roll. You know what I'm saying? Type of guy.
Cornbread with gumbo.
Yeah, like cornbread is gross.
Hey,
man.
greens got to go because I've had some green beans. That was more fire than greens.
Yeah,
them green beans.
Them greens can go.
Green beans, man.
Bro.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I didn't like greens when I was a kid, and I haven't touched a plate of greens since.
Oh, they're absolutely amazing to me, man. Good. It's just the flavors that come with them. It's just absolutely phenomenal. Because when you got to think, there's when you. But no. I mean, okay, I can understand that I picked the thing that everyone wants to leave. That's okay. But my thing is, I get this is one got to go soul food sides, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm triracial, man. So, you know, I got different cultures of foods coming to my Thanksgiving and my meals. So, you know,
triracial.
Hold on. Your mom make them greens, come on?
Yeah.
When we I'm gonna have to try that. I'm gonna test that.
We're gonna test his hands too.
She put her foot in the mac and cheese the last time.
I couldn't have that, man. That macaroni and cheese, because y'all know I'm lactose, so macaroni and cheese just.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the bonds too.
Go ahead, have mine. Absolutely, bro. If I have macaroni and cheese, I have to have a pound of pepper in it.
All right, y'all, we gonna wrap it up for this episode.
Can I go ahead and hit the outro?
Yeah, go ahead. Take us away.
All right.
Can we get some conclusions? Like, can we?
Yeah, go ahead and go. Wrap it up, Chris. I'm just going to do the outro.
You got 30 seconds, Cam.
All right. Let me say this. Okay, so we had some games that we talked about. We're looking forward to playing. You know what I'm saying? We talked about some pop culture, popular figures, you know. And we talked about those relationships and the normalization of cheating. Cheating is not normal. Not okay. Shouldn't cheat.
Absolutely.
Should be loyal.
Not cheat.
You know what I'm saying? And I just want to get that. That's the main thing. That's all I want to say. I don't be out here cheating. Just because I have an opinion, don't mean your boy be out here cheating. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I like the way you put that.
I'm done. I mean, I'm good.
Hey, once again, everybody, thank you for listening to the Guys Podcast. If you guys have anything to say, any comments, any feedback to give us, man, we will love it. It's greatly appreciated. So go ahead and shout us out, shoot us something. Another successful episode 2, episode 3 coming next week. Please stay tuned for that. And, plenty more to come. Thank you.